Ladies and gentlemen, I have the honor here in this second segment to be with none other than Shawn Prime. All hail
The
Prime.
Breakfast Club. Real quick, before you get started,
Yes.
why is Billy Gunn giving a DDT to Rey Mysterio where he's going to break both of his legs at the same time as he's gently caressing Hunter's hair as Hunter's about to get all the brain damage of a lifetime in one, move because, you're in the hands of Brock Lesnar. And I'm almost positive every time Lesnar touches you, you get brain damage.
Yeah. Actually, I think he calls this move the multitasker.
Oh, that's all right. 10-4.
Multitasking, break some legs and caress some hair.
All right.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for those who know Shawn Prime, for those who were live at ICW, Lucha Fest 4, November 5th, you saw what transpired there. He did leave a message on there, and we are honored that he really kind of waited on being here on the show to share what occurred there. So
mostly because I'm really lazy.
No. Actually, hopefully, this.
No, I did it just for this show, for this moment. I waited for this.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. So on November 5th, again, ICW Lucha Fest, you had an amazing three-way with Stevie Richards, Gangrel. It was a hell of a match. Former WWE experience abundant. And when the match was over, you placed your boots in the middle of the ring and walked out. Now, fanatics of Miami area wrestling and beyond would like to know what this means for the future of Shawn Prime.
I see that, and I should have probably should have addressed this so much sooner because I get a lot of people asking me this question. So is Shawn Prime done with the wrestling business? And the short answer for that is absolutely not. Who can be? Whoever will be. If you've ever laced up boots and performed in front of a wrestling ring,
okay,
you can't. The boots was symbolic of something else. Since a few years ago, I've had one driving motivation, one driving force, and that was to try to make it to the WWE. And I got my body to the point where it needed to be, my skill sets to the point where they all pretty much already were. But, you can always fix things up a little bit. You can always adjust. And I adjusted. I did everything I could. I did my due diligence. I sent my tapes out. I did everything that was asked of me to do. And I had friends and I had people in the know that could help me get to where I wanted to go and knew where I wanted to be and knew that I was good enough to be where I wanted to be. And unfortunately, good luck shines on a lot of us in life. Sometimes we get abundance of it. Sometimes we don't. And I just never got the lucky break. And I've been, for years now, I've been battling, having that lucky break, that one moment, that one match, that one meeting, that one handshake. Like James Ellsworth is a perfect example.
Wow.
They brought him in just as an enhancement guy. And for some weird reason, the audience became infatuated with him. Connected. And now he's about to walk out with a WWE contract. And that is Lady Luck shining down on him. That is a lucky moment for somebody that probably went, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
And that's great. And I'm so happy for when that happens to a guy like him or a guy, anybody that has that dream and is able to live it. But for me, I'm getting older. I want different things. And if Vince McMahon walked through that door right now and was like, I want to give you a contract.
Get him in here now. Finally.
I would. Everything I did on the November would mean
November
nothing.
5th.
It would mean absolutely nothing. I'd sign the contract right here and now. But that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is I need some time away. I need some time to be me. I need some time to pursue other avenues of my life. I'm not wrestling 24/7. I don't think most of us are, unless you're doing it for a living. But for those that are, I couldn't keep waking up every day going, this is the match or this is the moment or it's draining on you. And I have a lot of positives in my life outside of the business that I want to pursue. Awesome. And I felt that the more time that I put in it, listen, it's expensive to stay in phenomenal shape. Anybody that walks around at 250, 260, with, less than 10% body fat, they're going to tell you, man, I'd spend 4 hours in a gym. I'd spend $300 a month on supplements. I'd spend all that a week in food. It's expensive. It's not cheap. I love it. I love being in phenomenal shape. Who doesn't? But at the end of the day, if it's not paying the bills, what are you doing? So the boots in the ring was symbolic of me saying goodbye to the journey of making it that far. And I'm going to take my time off. I don't know when I'll be back. It could be 6 months. It could be 2 years. It could be maybe I never wrestle again. I don't know. I have no answers for you. I have no definitives. All I know is I needed to walk away. It needed to happen. And actually, this is a really funny side story. I love wrestling. There's nothing better than being in that ring and making the fans react the way I want them to react. Or even if you're reacting in a way I don't want you to react, the fact that you're reacting is what matters to me. And the praise is also awesome. But it's not, I've never based my wrestling career off the praise I get from people. It's the praise I give myself. Do I think I did a good enough job? Do I think I could have done better? And obviously the answer is always yes. I always believe I go out there and do a better job. Hey, the Stevie Gangrel match, when I look back at it, I'm going to say, man, there's 5 things about that match I wish I could have had back. It's just the way I am. I always am like that. But I needed some time away. I need to reconnect with normal things. But thanks, guys. But there's lots of things out there that that could entice and interest me to come back, even if it's just for like one match here or there sporadically.
Okay.
As far as coming back and wrestling full time or anything like that, man, I need some time away from all that. And look, I don't want to harp on it enough, but I have an ICW promoter that every other day texts me, so how about this? And I will always be like, George, it's been a week and a half. Stop. So it was just
knock him for trying.
But the story is before I went out, it was right after the era match with Culebra.
Okay.
And we were on Next when we went out. Now my father passed away in 2013, and I always walked away from the business at that point. But my mom basically, like, she was like, no, you have to. Because like I mentioned before, my dad absolutely I never thought he cared at all about what I was doing. But it ended up being he was supportive in his own way. Okay. So for kids out there, if you don't think your parents support you, they probably do. They just don't know how to show it. That was my lesson in that. Nice. So before I went out there, I was like, all right, Dad, I'm really thinking about this. I really need a break, but I don't know. Just give me a sign. And you say that kind of stupid stuff. You're never expecting something. The second I said that, the breaker broke on the building and the lights came on, I went, okay.
Oh, wow.
I got the sign. So that's that. And
so it wasn't pre-planned.
No, I don't do anything pre-planned. I have an idea. I always have just a general idea of what I want to do. Mm-hmm. And I let the rest take care of itself organically. Because I always feel that the more organic you are, the more believable you are. And the more believable you are, the more that the audience can get sucked into what it is you're doing. If I go out there, if I write a 10-page promo out, because everyone knows I like to talk a lot. If I write a 10-page promo and I go verbatim, it's probably going to sound okay, but it's going to be inauthentic. Gotcha. As opposed to me just grabbing a mic and go, I don't know what the hell I'm about to say, but let's go. It's more organic, it's more authentic, and at the end of the day, it's believable because it's just whatever's off the cuff for me. So that's what it is. And I don't know how long I'll be gone. Maybe I never wrestle again. Maybe I wrestle in 6 months. I don't have a timetable for that. I need for me to get in the ring nowadays, I need to feel like I have to be there. This is a match I have to have. This is an experience that I have to share, or this is something I have to prove to somebody. People have brought up and I don't want to give anybody any kind of expectations, but people have brought up to me like, well, Angel Rose is now the ICW champion. Your match was for number 1 contendership. You were 1 DDT away. What does that make you feel like? And the short answer is I congratulate Angel Rose on her victory. I absolutely have nothing but the most profound respect for what she has accomplished and will accomplish. Well deserved. And I'll be honest with you, people are like, man, maybe in a year from now, you're wrestling Angel Rose for the ICW title. And that would make me really, really mad, because if she's not in the WWE in a year from now, that would be really sad for me, because she deserves to be in there. She's better than all the women we have on TV right now. I promise you that. I was there when she started training. She did was train with men. The Rusty Brooks, the J-Dogs, the Mannixes, the Max Stardoms, the Dash Mavericks, the Eras, the Jokers. She's only been in the ring with men, which is why she's so head and heels better than all the women, because they train around other women, and she trained with some of the best guys in the state of Florida, and because of that, she is one of the best wrestlers,
and it shows,
male or female, in the state of Florida. Yeah, she's a little small, but she just beat Michael Monroe for the ICW championship, and he's my size, so size doesn't really matter, obviously. Yeah. And I wish her the best against Gangrel in January, and that's an idea that excites me, but so many planets have to align for that to happen.
Got you. Well, listen, thank you so much, even though it wasn't a specific answer, but it was some sort of answer, and you were very candid.
It was a tad bit hopeful and a tad bit realistic, and I hope that helps everybody out, because I don't want to tell anybody, definitely, I'll see you in June. That's just not going to happen.
So maybe not,
yeah.
But he will be at a few wrestling events anyway.
You'll see me.
So
yeah, I like to go to shows and just be a fan. It helps. It helps to watch the wrestling from afar, removed from that aspect, because sometimes you forget why you do what you do. And sometimes, watching a good match and watching the fans reacting, and then you go, screw those two, I'm better than both of them. The fans would have cheered louder if I was in the ring. And then the fire gets burning again.
Yes. And curious to know, with that, if you do or if you don't come back, but how would you want to be remembered, at least at this point?
Well, I mean, I've obviously carved out a small niche down here in South Florida, and I'm one of the few people who is kind of, I don't know, I'm not to be quite honest, it's always weird to me when so many people come up and are so glad to meet me like I'm an actual celebrity or something, and I guess in the smallest local aspect, I mean, I guess I'm real humble about that, because look, I've never made any real money in this business. I have trades and skills outside where I make my money. Wrestling has to this point just been two things. One, I'm good at it, and I like being good at it, and I like showing people I'm good at it. And two, the ever-living climb to make it to the top. And for me, at this period of my life, that climb needs to end. And I need to pursue other stuff. And I'm 33 years old. I got plenty of time to get back. They're signing guys as old as like 38. And James Ellsworth's chin is 35 years old. So yes. I still have plenty of time to take a year off and come back, because when I come back, I'm still better than all the other marks in the wrestling ring. So it doesn't really matter. That's
so still keep an eye out.
That's a shoot. No. So yeah, as far as being remembered, just, man, if people just knew, and if people just knew that me as the guy that would come out there, always perform, always give 150%, always be the best on the microphone, and always be pushing himself and everyone else. Man, I would love a year from now to come back to a business locally where instead of there only being 3 or 4 guys that belonged on wrestling shows, there were 10 or 12. Wow. I would love, because for me, it's always about, people tell you differently, but you always want to prove you're the best. You always want to walk away. When I traveled to Texas a few years ago, when I came back, the business had changed. And I needed to up my game, and I believe I did. And every couple of years, I have to up my game, and I would hate to come back and go, "Oh, well, I'm still better than all you marks." All right, cool. I'll just get dressed and do my thing, and you all watch and learn. But I would love to watch that one guy and go, "Damn, that's the guy. We need to work, beat the hell out of each other, gain that respect." And I need to know I'm better than him.
Awesome. All right. Well, listen, it saddens me that this segment has to end, because time keeps on clicking. So the last thing I'm gonna mention here, if you have any shout outs, anyone that you would like to thank, take this opportunity here that we are live on the
do I have to do the usual athlete? I would like to thank God, because I can't. I'm kind of atheistic.
That's fine.
Okay,
that's fine.
Cool. I have to thank everybody that broke me into the business. The Rusty Brooks, the Billy Fives, who, even though he doesn't remember it, would beat the ever living Christ out of me. The Sean Allens, the Dave Johnsons, the Caseys, the Hack Myers, the Bobby Rogers. I don't know if I said that. Mike Blake. I'd have to thank my parents for not only allowing me to do this when I was younger, but for putting up with. There's a time in my life where I had a wrestling ring in my backyard.
Oh wow!
And just me and my friend would go out there, and that's how I learned a lot of stuff, because I just had a wrestling ring and I would train in it almost every day. and for them to be so kind in allowing me to do that.
Yeah, actually, that is pretty cool.
Because Shawn Prime would have ended up a lot differently if he just had to count on the 3 or 4 days a week at wrestling school he was, and all my Breakfast Club brothers, every last one of you. The last couple of years, these guys have been instrumental in not one keeping me in the business, making sure that I was physically better than everybody. Thank you, Donovan. But keeping me on the right track and keeping me from being me, because I can be one of those guys where something will happen and I instantly go straight to anger. And usually when I go straight to anger, I just walk away from a situation because I know I know what I'm capable of.
Okay.
You know, when you just know what you're capable of. Yeah. So, you know, I have the Ben Temples of the world to give me the perspective that I would see if I wasn't raging and insane. So, you know, and my wonderful girlfriend who hates me talking about her. So, you know, it's just everybody in my life that makes it to George. If I leave out George, he'll kill me. George Dash Speedy, all the guys in ICW. Yes, he's probably listening to this. I do not put it past him.
Awesome, Jorge.
Yeah. All the fans.
Yes.
Every last one of you. Thank you. Everyone who has possibly.
Yeah. You're from up there, the rafters.
Yeah, everybody up around. So for everybody that came out, bought a ticket, it's been a fan, been a good fan. For everybody that has, you know, drawn pictures, you know, and everybody who's ever said anything kind to me after a wrestling show. I've had some people come up and say that they're having a shitty day, but man, they were really looking forward to my match and stuff. And it's crazy it's really crazy to me because I don't see myself as that at all. I just see myself as some guy that just goes in the ring, does what he loves doing, and sometimes has a profound effect on people. You know, there was a couple longtime fans that cried after the match, thinking I was completely done with wrestling, and I that was hard for me because I was like, "Why are you crying?" I mean, I don't want to break any barriers, but I'm not dying.
Yeah. No, but you need to understand. Everybody takes every experiences in life at different levels, so it was a little sad.
So if people out there listening, watching, whatever it is they might be doing, they want Shawn Prime back in the ring sooner than later. Speak with your voice at shows. Speak with you know, your signs that you make, and as to the promoters that pay me. Make it so it's impossible for there to be a South Florida wrestling without me, because from here on out, while I might not concentrate on making that big climb to that nice little mountain at the Stanford, Connecticut, or Orlando, wherever you want to talk about it, when I eventually do get back in the ring, I'm still going to be the best in South Florida, and I dare anybody to challenge that. So there you go.
Well, Shawn Prime, thank you so much for this time. Thank you, sir, for expressing yourself and sharing all this with us. And guys, there you had it. That's it. The crowd is going wild. All right, guys. Well, guys, stay tuned because we have another guest on the Fuse.